Kashim Shettima seeks House of Representatives support for Tinubu's agenda on transforming Nigeria. Jigawa State Governor swears in 16 new commissioners. 53 children tear-gassed in Nairobi. Today is 24th Zulhijjah 1444 after the Hijrah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which is equivalent to 12th July 2023. I am Salam Tanud Eliman with the news in full. The Senate has congratulated President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on his recent emergence as the chairman of the Economic Community of West African States. The Red Chamber also felicitated Nigerians on the great honor and privilege position of chairman of ECOWAS now occupied by the President Tinubu. The Senate also resolved that the Senate President Godswill Akpabio should lead a delegation of the Senate leadership to pay a solidarity visit to the President over the fate. This resolution of the Red Chambers followed its consideration of a motion titled Congratulating President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The motion was sponsored by the Deputy Senate President, Senator Jibrin Barrow of Kano North. The coming few days after President Bola Tinubu emerged as chairman of ECOWAS in the just concluded 634 ordinary session of the Authority of Heads of State and Government of ECOWAS held in Bissau, capital of the Republic of Guinea-Bissau. Meanwhile, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has written to the House of Representatives seeking an amendment to the 2022 Supplementary Appropriation Act to accommodate 500 billion naira for provision of palliatives for Nigerians. Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, read the President's letter at plenary today. He said the request became necessary to enable the government provide palliative for Nigerians to cushion the effect of subsidy removal. After reading the request, the Speaker said the House will begin the consideration of the President's request at plenary tomorrow. Vice President Kashim Shettima has called on the leadership of the House of Representatives to support President Bola Tinubu's administration's effort to transform the country. Mr. Shettima made the call yesterday in Abuja when he received the leadership of the 10th House of Representatives on a courtesy visit at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. The delegation was led by Speaker Tajuddin Abbas. According to Shettima, the President is determined to redefine the meaning and concept of modern leadership as he started firing on all cylinders from day one. He said that Nigeria needed to work in harmony and reassured that the government was willing to work for the good of the nation. Minority Leader Kingsley Chinda, Deputy Minority Leader Aliyu Madaki, Minority Whip Ali Isa, and Deputy Minority Whip George Ozonobi were also in the delegation. The National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, says the federal government is currently putting measures in place to amend the 2015 Cybercrimes Act. Ribadu disclosed this at the two-day conference by the Cybersecurity Expert Association of Nigeria in Abuja. Represented by Manager Nigerian Computer Emergency Response Team, Dr. Bala Fakandu, said Ribadu recognized the existence of emerging technologies which bad state actors are already leveraging to perpetrate cybercrimes. Ribadu further said that the federal government considered cybersecurity incident management and protection of critical national information infrastructure as a vital component for the national development. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, says they received 146 stranded Nigerians from Niamey, Niger Republic. NEMA's co-coordinator, Kano Territorial Office, Dr. Nuruddin Abdullahi, said these were receiving the returnees at the Malam Aminu Kano International Airport, Kano. The returnees arrived at the airport today morning. Abdullahi said the returnees were brought back through a voluntary repatriation program under the care of International Organization for Migration. He said that the program was meant for distressed persons who left the country in search of greener pastures in various European countries but could not afford to return. The Federal Ministry of Works and Housing has explained why the ongoing reconstruction of the Abuja-Kaduna-Kano Expressway has not been completed. Speaking to newsmen shortly after inspecting the project, Alhaji Mahmouda Mamman, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, attributed the delay to security challenges, especially along a section of the road. According to him, with the improved security situation, the contractor had committed to completing the entire project within the given timeline. Mamman emphasized the ministry's commitment to adhere to the contractor's schedule and ensure timely completion early next year. He explained that they embark on the familiarization journey from the Abuja-Kaduna-Kano Expressway, purposely to monitor the progress made so far. The Kano State government has spent 1.5 billion naira on payment of National Examination Council registration fees of 57,000 students of various secondary schools in the state. This is contained in a statement by Alhaji Ibrahim Shuaibu, the press secretary to the state deputy governor, Alhaji Aminu Gorzo in Kano. He said Governor Abba Yusuf made the disclosure while opening the commencement of the examination at Rumfa College in the metropolis. Represented by Gorzo, Yusuf noted that payment of the fees was part of his government's policy to reposition the educational sector for optimal performance. He charged the beneficial students to put in their best for better results in the examination to justify the government's huge investment in their academic pursuits. In his remarks, the Commissioner for Education, Malam Omar Dogwa, announced that a committee was set up by the state to assess boarding schools earlier shut down with a view to reopening them. The news is coming to you from the studios of Sawaba Radio. More is after a short break. Stay tuned.
This is News on the Hour, Sawaba Radio FM. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. You're still on to the services of Sawaba Radio 104.9 Hadija. Jigawa State Governor Umar Namadi has sworn in 16 new commissioners with a charge to be prudent in discharging their primary assignment. The ceremony was held at the Government House in Dutse today. The commissioners include Ibrahim Babangida Umar as Commissioner, Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning, Professor Hanat Sabo Muhammad as Commissioner, Ministry of Finance, and Dr. Muhammad Abdullahi Kainua as Commissioner, Ministry of Health. Others include Aminu Kanta as Commissioner, Ministry of Commerce, Ahmed Garba, MK, assigned to Ministry for Local Government, Ibrahim Garba Hanangiwa, Ministry of Water Resources, and Dr. Lawan Yunus Nzumo as Commissioner, Ministry of Basic Education. Others include Dr. Isa Yusuf Chamo as Commissioner, Ministry of Higher Education, Science and Technology, Sajid Musa Ahmed, Ministry of Information, Youth, Sports and Culture, Hadiza Abdul Wahab, Ministry of Women Affairs, Colonel Muhammad Al-Hassan, retired, Ministry of Lands and Regional Planning, Dr. Noor Ibrahim Nduka, Ministry of Environment. The remaining include Engineer Gambo Shoaibu Malam as Commissioner, Ministry of Works, Awal Laladi Sankara, Ministry of Special Duties, Musa Adamu Aliyu, Ministry of Justice, and Buddaka Namadi as Commissioner, Ministry of Agriculture and Natural Resources. Meanwhile, Governor Umar Namadi Damodi has encouraged new Jigawa State Commissioners to work according to his 12-point agenda in order to fulfill his campaign promises. The governor made this known today while swearing in new Jigawa State 16 commissioners. Our reporter Haruna Ahmed Bultua have more on this.
The governor, in his speech shortly after the formal swearing held at the council chamber Government House Dutse, encouraged the new commissioners to work according to the already established 12-point agenda of his administration and must seek his directives before implementation. He emphasized that the task ahead of the new commissioners is not simple but is doable, as they have a responsibility that must be discharged for the betterment of the Jigawa State people.
you are to implement this 12-point agenda under my direct supervision. Honorable Commissioners, the task ahead of us is not simple, but is doable. I repeat, the task is not simple, but is doable. We have a responsibility, and this responsibility, we are accountable to the people of the Jigawa State, and we will also be accountable to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the hereafter. So I want to shout to all of you that this responsibility must be discharged.
He also warned that he will not tolerate laxity on the side of the commissioners, as they are not expected to always be in their offices. They should roundly go out for inspection of projects under their ministries. And if he, the governor, by himself find out the ministries are not doing what is required of them, the commissioner will be held responsible.
If you allow me to go out and find something wrong in your ministry, I will hold you responsible. You must be physically present and you must also be in the office. So you have to combine these tasks. If you delegate responsibility, follow it to ensure that it's being discharged. I have delegated this responsibility to each one of you. I will follow you and ensure that you have discharged it. So also follow your subordinate to ensure that this responsibility is discharged. There is no apportionment of blame. You are responsible and I will hold you responsible. I want to congratulate you. Your appointments are based on merit and your competence, and we have also assigned you to portfolio that we think is appropriate for you.
In his vote of thanks on behalf of the new commissioners, the new commissioner of the basic education, Dr. Lawal Yunus Andomo, assured the governor of their readiness to work tirelessly for the success of the present administration. To also show their readiness to the governor, the commissioners assure us that they have not Saturday or Sunday if the need arises.
Thank you very much for giving us. We're part of the team. And as I said, we don't have Sundays or Saturdays or working days. We will remain as constant as the northern star to work along the interests of the government, in spite of the fact that we will seek for your support, for your assistance, for listening here, and for better access to discuss issues with you. We wish to promise, we will tell you, as said by the Lord, the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Your Excellency, we want to submit ourselves to others that we seek for his guidance and protection. We seek for his guidance and make sure that at the end of the day, together we can move Jigawa to greater heights.
Haruna Ahmed Bultua, reporting for Sawaba Radio.
Thank you, Haruna, for that. Operatives of Jigawa State Police Command have busted 2 motorcycle robbery gangs who have been dispossessing the public of their belongings. The spokesperson of the command, DSP Lawan Shisu Adam, who confirmed the incident in a statement, said the arrest followed the intensified effort of the command to curb motorcycle robbery and other criminal activities in the state. Adam said on receipt of the report, the patrol team attached to Fanisau Division swiftly swung into action with the assistance of hunters and arrested 19-year-old Tijani Haruna and 25-year-old Babale Abdurrahman, both of Gabia Village, Duse local government. He added that the other 3 suspects, Ahmadu Audu, Shuaibu Bayeri, and Samaila Musa, were arrested in Grangim local government by police and local vigilantes following a tip-off. He said during the interrogation, the suspect confessed to having used the knives and cable to rob a motorcycle. Yobe State Governor Memala Buni has met with the Secretary to the Federal Government, Senator George Akume, to discuss areas of cooperation and intervention by the Federal Government. Governor Buni's media aide, Mamman Muhammad, disclosed this in a statement issued today. The statement recalled that some federal roads were washed away by the flood last year. According to the statement, other federal government projects yet to be completed included the Metro Regional Water Supply, FIGA Water Project, electricity supply, among others. Responding, Akume assured Governor Buni that the federal government will look into the said project to improve the lives of the people. He also assured the commitment of the Tinubu administration of working on the same page for the benefit of the people of the state. The Kwara State Police Command has commenced an investigation into a thunderstorm that reportedly killed 3 suspected kidnappers in the agrarian Oro Ago community in the Ife Lodun local government area of the state. News Agency of Nigeria gathered that the incident linked to the efforts of the local vigilante team in Ubomina was aimed at checking security challenges in Kwara State. According to a video that has gone viral, the incident happened about 3 days ago in the community. In the video, it was gathered that the victims of the thunder strike were suspected members of an 8-man kidnap gang who reportedly operated in Iwo in the Esen local government area of the state about 3 weeks ago. Now to international scene. 53 children have been rushed to a hospital in Kenya's capital, Nairobi, after falling unconscious when tear gas was thrown into their class by police during protest. Eagles Nursery Home Hospital owner Dr. Aaron Shikuku told the BBC that they have been able to stabilize the children who have been at the hospital for about 4 hours. There have been protests around the country called by the opposition over the rising cost of living. 2 people are reported to have died as protesters stormed a police station and touched it, and another man died after a police van was attacked along the Nairobi Expressway in Lolongo on the outskirts of the city. Opposition leader Raila Odinga has called off a rally that he was to hold at the Kamukunji grounds in the Nairobi suburb, citing police shootings, assaults, and harassment of his supporters. Transport and businesses have been disrupted around the country. Britain has announced sanctions against firms linked to the rival military group in Sudan's increasingly bloody conflict. A British government minister, Andrew Mitchell, said the Sudanese army and paramilitaries of the Rapid Support Forces had dragged their country into a wholly unjustified war. The sanctions impose an asset freeze on 3 businesses linked to each side in the fighting. Washington imposed sanctions at the start of June. Since the fighting in Sudan erupted 3 months ago, it thought thousands of people have been killed. Millions of people have been forced from their home. A man has been shot dead during protests in the Kenyan town of Emali, some 100 kilometers from the capital, Nairobi, according to multiple reports in local media. The Daily Nation newspaper says that police opened fire on protesters who reportedly set fire to a police vehicle and threw stones at a local bank. Emali sits on the Nairobi to Mombasa highway. The K24 website reports that hundreds of protesters there barricaded the road today, bringing traffic to a standstill. These opposition protests have gone ahead despite police declaring them illegal. Neither the police nor the local authorities have commented on the protesters' death so far. That has been the news, but before I go, a recap of the major stories. From the news world head, Kashim Shettima seeks House of Representatives to support for Tinubu's agenda on transforming Nigeria. Jigawa State Governor swears in 16 new commissioners. On the international scene, 53 children tear-gassed in Nairobi. That has been the news. On behalf of the news department, our editor, Mohammed Suleiman Yobi, our content announcer, Musalma Adam Iko, I am Salamatu Leman saying good night.